Hi, welcome to episode 112 of the Fit Postpartum Mom podcast. I'm Jena, and today you will be listening in to a recording from another podcast called The Peaceful Home Birth with McClain. That's right, I did a podcast interview with her on her show, and she was kind enough to share it with me so I could air it on my podcast for you to listen to. It was such a great interview where we talked about exercise during pregnancy and how it can affect your childbirth experience. And I know if you are postpartum and you are wanting more children, this episode is something that you're going to want to refer back to when you are pregnant again and you're getting closer to childbirth. So take in this information now and share it with a friend, or take it in now and save it for a time when you need it the most. But I am so excited to share this amazing interview that we did together. And here she is, McClain.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Peaceful Home Birth. Are you wondering what exercises you can do during pregnancy and postpartum that are safe? Maybe you haven't started working out in your pregnancy because you don't really know where to start. Or maybe you're newly postpartum and just want to make sure that the workouts you're doing are helping and not hurting your pelvic floor. Exercise has so many more benefits than we think of during pregnancy, and this episode is going to inspire you and encourage you to get moving.
Are you finding it hard to keep up with the demands of motherhood because your energy is always low? Is your weak core holding you back from feeling strong and confident in your postpartum journey? Do you avoid looking in the mirror because you're not happy with what you see? Hey mama, welcome to the Fit Postpartum Mom podcast, where you'll learn how to reclaim your energy, strengthen your body after pregnancy, and finally say goodbye to the postpartum pooch in less time. Hi, I'm Dr. Jena, but you can call me Jena, and I'm a physical therapist, wife, and mom of 4 girls who has cracked the code on how to strengthen your core postpartum in the easiest and safest way possible. I too struggled with my postpartum fitness journey as a new mom, but now I'm stronger than ever, and I'm here to help you do the same without the stress, exhaustion, or struggle. If you're ready to fit fitness into your busy schedule while you navigate your postpartum journey and stay motivated along the way, then you're in the right place. It's all about progress, not perfection, and I'm here to help walk you through that journey to feeling strong, confident, and energized. That energy comes from within, not your coffee. Let's roll out that yoga mat, girl. It's time to do this. I know you're exhausted, mama. Tired of that stubborn postpartum pooch that just won't go away. Tired of feeling like no matter what you do, nothing changes. You're frustrated with the lack of time, the endless exhaustion, and the struggle to feel confident in your own skin again. You want to feel strong. I know you do. You want to look slimmer and fit into your clothes again, but you're overwhelmed by all the advice out there, unsure of where to start, and worried about getting hurt if you try the wrong thing. Well, I want you to stop feeling discouraged. I want you to start feeling empowered. I'm here to help you with a simple, effective solution. My 70-day postpartum ab program is designed specifically for moms just like you, busy, tired, and ready for a change. In just 10 minutes a day, you can start seeing real results, flattening your tummy and building the strength you need to take on mom life with confidence. Let's make this journey easier together. Head over to livecorestrong.com/PAS and join me in my 70-day postpartum ab program. Are you in? Just head on over to livecorestrong.com/PAS and get started now.
Now, to introduce my guest. Dr. Jena Bradley is a physical therapist and a mom of 4. She helps moms feel empowered to live that fit mom lifestyle easily amongst the chaos of motherhood so that they feel confident and strong in their own skin. Dr. Jena Bradley's experience is shared through her blog and YouTube channel, Live Core Strong, and now her podcast, The Fit Postpartum Mom. On the blog, you'll find expert advice on prenatal workouts, postpartum core training, diastases recti exercises, C-section recovery, time management strategies, all the things. So go check that out. This episode was so great, and I know you're going to find it helpful and encouraging. I just know you're going to love it. So let's hop right in. Hi, Dr. Jena. Thanks for coming on the show. I'm so excited to be talking with you today. I know my listeners are going to gain so much wisdom and insight from you, as this is a topic I get questions on so often. So now they have somebody to go to for this, and I'm really, really happy about that. So before we get into this episode, would you just do a quick introduction and let us know who you are?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, Allie. And I am Jena. I am a physical therapist going on 15 years, and I'm a mom of 4 girls. And I have so much expertise in all different areas of physical therapy. But ever since becoming a mom, I have really loved helping other moms with pregnancy and postpartum fitness and to help them regain their strength after having a baby, but also helping them to be strong during their pregnancy so that they can go through childbirth and have an amazing experience. So with that experience, I started a blog called Live Core Strong, and now a podcast, the Fit Postpartum Mom Podcast. And I'm helping so many moms just feel confident in their body with their exercises. And I just absolutely love it. And now my kids and they're all girls. I have all girls, and they work out alongside me, and it's just been amazing.
I love that so much. So I'm really interested what part of your story really helped propel you? Was it just being pregnant and realizing that it takes a toll on your body? What was it exactly that got you so interested in pelvic floor?
Yeah, so I've always had a love for fitness, and that's how I got into physical therapy, was just the love for fitness. I actually never had an injury before, but I just love exercise so much. And through my physical therapy training, I actually worked with a lot of physical therapists that focus on the pelvic floor and women's health, as we like to call it. And so that alone was my background. And then becoming a mom, it's weird because you have your profession, but then you have your motherhood. And I sort of separated the two when I was a new mom, and I didn't really mesh physical therapy and motherhood together until I was like really in the thick of it. And I'm like, oh man, I really need to go back to my training and apply what I've learned to my own health right now, because I was so focused on being a mom to my baby and nursing and changing diapers and all those things. And I literally forgot how to take care of myself. And I had to just sort of like regroup. And that's when when I started to see like my body was not the way it was, like I need to do something. And then I started to have a lot of friends reach out to me, and I just realized how many moms struggle with taking care of their body throughout motherhood. So I got back into it after I had my first baby.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, well, what benefits have you seen? Let's just start off with that. Like, what benefits have you seen of exercise and even like that self-care aspect of I'm going to set aside time to take care of my body? What benefits does that have for a mom who is pregnant?
Yeah, so many benefits.
Okay, and now it's time to share one of my sponsors with you. After my first birth, which ended in a traumatic C-section, I started researching literally everything, including things that go in and on me and my family's body. I started getting rid of everything, first starting with cleaning products and then over-the-counter meds, but makeup has been the hardest thing for me to replace. It seems as all the natural makeup is in powder form, and with the type of coverage that I like, it just was not cutting it. That's when I found Araza Beauty's all-in-one coconut cream foundation. This foundation actually improves my skin while providing sun protection and, of course, even coverage. With a dewy finish, almost like a BB cream, it's perfect for everyday wear. Plus, it's packed with ingredients like jojoba oil, probiotics, antioxidants, and zinc oxide, which provides SPF 28 coverage. I also love that Araza Beauty is a woman-owned and dedicated to giving back to victims of domestic violence. I feel great about supporting this company, which makes its super luxurious makeup even more satisfying. Now, I recommend starting with the foundation. See what I did there? Foundation. You won't regret it. Just to make it easier for you, Araza is giving my listeners a special discount of 15% off. So go to arazabeauty.com and use the code EMPOWEREDBIRTH at checkout.
I'll just start with confidence alone because I feel like as a new mom, we're sort of stuck in our home. At least I was. My first baby was born in December, and I'm in Pennsylvania. It's cold, and I just did not want to leave my house for the sake of, protecting my child, but also I didn't have the confidence in myself to leave. And exercise, seeing those changes in your body, you start to say like, okay, I'm feeling good now. I have more confidence to go out, to go places, and you're feeling more like yourself. So that alone is a big reason. But the energy, and we get so much energy from exercise. And I know people think I'm going to exercise and I'm going to lose energy because it takes energy to exercise, but it's really the opposite. And you won't feel it right away, but the more you exercise, the more energy you really have. And actually on my podcast, I always say like, you don't need coffee for energy. It's exercise. Exercise is what gives you the energy. So, I mean, we're so fatigued having our newborn, like going through pregnancy and losing our sleep through pregnancy, and then the exhaustion from childbirth, and then coming into postpartum and we're not sleeping and we're trying to teach our babies to sleep. We're lacking the sleep, and exercise can actually help us to sleep better. So, I mean, we have the confidence, we have the energy, and we have improved sleep and a deeper sleep. And it really feels amazing. And, you're going to be tired by the end of the day. You're going to have energy throughout the day, but come the end of the day, you're going to want to fall asleep right away. Mm-hmm. So you'll get really good sleep. And there's just so many other benefits. I mean, long-term health. Again, as a physical therapist, I'm always thinking about the joints, and we gain some weight during pregnancy, and that puts a toll on our joints. And so having the weight loss, slow, moderate weight loss, I never say, excessive weight loss, but exercise and losing a little bit of weight, 1 pound a week or so can really help improve the quality of your joints long term.
Wow, that's amazing. In full disclosure, I actually hated the thought of working out for so long. I'm telling you, it wasn't until this January that I started working out again after probably like 10 years of not doing anything. Wow. And I remember the first time walking into the gym and telling this personal trainer that, and after the workout, I felt so happy. And I didn't realize how good it would be on my mental health. And I think that's something that, especially during pregnancy, when your whole identity is shifting, when you don't feel the same about your body, when you're feeling, that fatigue and just not like yourself, those happy endorphins can make such a huge difference, if not just pregnancy, but postpartum too. I was probably about a year. Yeah, I was a year postpartum when I started working out again, and it's been amazing. So I'm really excited to talk to you more about how a pregnant woman can work out. What does that look like even? I know for my first, I swam. I tried swimming like 3 times a week. So I guess it's been 8 years since I worked out. I'll clarify. But I love the swimming. So let's kind of transition. If there's a first-time mom out there who is newly pregnant, she has no idea where to even start with exercise, and she feels overwhelmed, what could she be doing in her pregnancy to support her mind, body, and spirit during pregnancy?
Yeah. So I like to start with someone who it has not been working out. I like to start ultra easy. Ultra easy because we don't want to have to think very hard because there's so many other areas that we're thinking about, whether it's just the health of our pregnancy and our baby. Let's take the thinking out of exercise and make it automatic, and that's going to make it stick. So something that I always recommend, it's good for any stage of pregnancy, is just walking. And you can do that anywhere, even if you don't have a treadmill, and even if it's cold and snowy outside, you can walk laps in your house. And so you need to find a place in your home that is, one level. And I love if you have a place in your home where you can do laps in a circular pattern, that's the best. And if you don't have anything like that, if you have a hallway, you're going to do laps back and forth, and you're going to set a timer. You don't have to think about a thing. You don't have to count laps. You're just going to set the timer. And what I would say is start with a 5-minute timer. It's super easy. It's not overbearing to your day and your schedule. And everybody can find 5 minutes. I just say, get off social media a little bit and go to your 5-minute timer for your walk in your house. And then every day increase by 1 minute. So if you're going to start on the first of the month, you're going to increase 1 minute every day, and then you'll have 30 minutes by the end, 35 minutes by the end of the month for your walking program that you could do. So that is by far the best. And to make it a little bit more challenging is you want to just increase your speed. So, you can add some weights. I mean, you could add some ankle weights. I know that's old school, but if you want to just make it super easy without thought, without equipment, it's just a timer and some walking shoes and just pick up the pace. That's the best way to start.
I love that. Walking is so simple, and you hit the nail on the head there. Is I can't think. Like, I don't want to think about anything
Yeah.
except, what's already going on in my head. So that's such a great idea. I love that. So what's the second one?
Okay, the second one would be the core. My blog is called Live Core Strong. I am a big advocate for core exercises, and that's for many reasons, but that's like your foundation to everything. You need to have a strong core in order to, have your upper body strong, because you don't want to be strengthening your upper body if your core is floppy or if your posture is weak. You're going to have bad alignment in your shoulders when you're doing your upper body. Same for the legs. If you're going to be working on your legs and your core is weak, you're going to have some back pain. So you always need to start with the core. And do you want me to go into my exercises for delivery or just basic core right now?
Let's do pregnancy related and
Mhm.
just, yeah, how can somebody focus
Pregnant.
on their core during
During
pregnancy?
pregnancy.
Yeah.
So I absolutely love getting on all fours. And you can do this in all trimesters, getting on all fours and drawing your belly button in.
Mm.
And so it's sort of like you're drawing it up towards the ceiling. And this is a really good, simple, relaxing core exercise that you can do. You can get a yoga mat out if you need to. You can, just do it on your carpet, but get on all fours and have a nice flat back to start. And then you're going to draw the belly button in and sort of tighten your core that way. So when you have your pregnant belly, it's going to sort of lift up a little bit, and it's completely safe to do. You're not going to want to do it for 5-10 minutes. You're just going to just do, a tightening for about 8 seconds and about 10 repetitions. So nothing crazy, nothing hard, but that is a really great, comfortable core exercise to do.
Okay, that's awesome. So when they're doing this during pregnancy, what benefits does it have for delivery?
Yeah. So the core muscles are key for the pushing. We need, but that's not it, not just the core, but it's part of the package for pushing. And so we want to have a strong core because we don't want to strain. We don't want to fatigue out. Your core muscles are doing so much work during labor and delivery. You need to have good endurance and good strength and good stability for the delivery. So, like I said, that's the foundation for everything. And then the benefit postpartum just carries on. So
Mhm.
that's the beauty, is you have the strong core pregnancy, and then when you go into postpartum, you'll see the results. You'll see a quicker recovery postpartum.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, is there a third exercise during pregnancy?
Yeah, I love doing balance exercises during
Hmm.
pregnancy. I actually sprained my ankle when I was pregnant, which is like the craziest thing. I think because of the baby weight and the off balance of the baby, the baby in the belly and everything. And I actually was just walking normally and twisted my ankle. And we have that laxity in our joints.
Yeah.
And so it's just so easy to like have a mishap of, oops, I slipped, I fell, or something. And so I like to work on balance during pregnancy because it's really relaxing. It's simple. It doesn't require a lot of sweating, and you can do it again during all three trimesters, which I like giving exercises for all three trimesters because you can, once you get really good at that in your first trimester, you just carry it on. Again, taking that thinking out of it, you do it all three trimesters and you're maintaining that program. So you don't want to change things up too much throughout the pregnancy. So a really good balance exercise is actually just standing on one leg. We call that single leg stance. I recommend doing this at like a kitchen counter or a bathroom counter, and you're just holding on with one finger and you're lifting up your other leg and you're balancing with a slight bend in your standing leg. And you want to hold that for 10 to 20 seconds long. And if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, doing a calf raise while you're standing on one leg.
Mhm.
So if you want to get a little bit more strengthening out of it, you're balancing on one leg and you're doing that calf raise up and down on your leg. So that is a really good one for stability in your entire leg. You'll get strengthening around your hip joint, your knee joint, and your ankle joint. So it's just a really good leg balance exercise.
Awesome. That's really great. Okay, so thinking about when someone is in labor, if they're consistent in these exercises and they're taking care of their body, what are some things that you expect to see, like the result of that during their labor and delivery?
Yeah, big one is endurance and being able to withstand the whole delivery process. It can be a quick delivery, it could be a long delivery. And I'm curious, with your experience, how long was the longest delivery you've ever heard or seen?
Oh my goodness. You hear of days sometimes. The
Really?
longest I've heard is 6 days, which to me, I have questions about that. My longest delivery was 26 hours, and I
That's
was
amazing.
definitely lacking endurance for that
Yes.
one. So I
Yeah.
can see where it would be very, very necessary and helpful. Um, just to even enjoy your baby postpartum. Like I was so exhausted by the time I was done with labor that I couldn't even hold her very well. Thankfully, I was at home, so she just laid on my chest and we were able to just sleep together and I recover together. But yeah, it takes a lot out of you. And
Yeah. So that's like the big thing is with exercise, I think that's probably the number one benefit that moms will see is that endurance to withstand the whole labor and delivery process because it is a workout. And I really went into my deliveries thinking I'm going to go do a really great workout right now. And that was it. Like that's what I had in my mind because I like to work out and that's what I'm used to doing. And I really pictured the process of labor and delivery being a workout and I'm going to do the entire workout all the way to the end and not give up. And that's how I look at it. So endurance is huge,
yeah,
huge.
well, I also see that mental fortitude part of that. It does take intentionality, it takes being perseverance. It takes that mental aspect to work out. As much as we want to take thinking out of it, which once it becomes automated, that's great and it becomes something you don't have to think about too often. But that initial getting past, if you've never worked out before, it's hard to like get up and say, I am going to do this. And that takes some mental fortitude, right? Just as labor does too. So it's when we think of labor as a mind, body, spirit connection, we don't want to miss one aspect and focus too much on the other. And I think uh, even in the natural birth world, I hear a lot. birth is so mental, which it's true, but like let's steward our bodies as well. And I think that's what you're speaking into right now is there is an endurance physically that will benefit you. There's an endurance mentally that will benefit you. There's an endurance spiritually that will benefit you. And so looking at all three aspects of that will just be your best birth experience. So I love that part of that.
Yeah, to go along with that, I'm thinking about, my experience with exercise and, the workouts that I do without a video guiding me, I so easily quit because it's just my mind telling me I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I want to stop, and no one's telling me that I can't stop. So it's like, oh, I'm going to stop my
Yeah.
workout. But then you have like a trainer or a workout video or someone that's like motivating you. That's that mental, part of it where they're saying don't give up, don't quit, keep going to the end of the video, you have 2 more minutes left, and then we keep going. And so when we're doing our labor and delivery, when we're giving birth, there's no video saying like, okay, you're going to be done now. Like we don't know when it's going to be over. And so we have to have that mental toughness and that mental endurance to just keep going to the end. And so if we can build that up with exercise and
Yeah.
train our bodies to go longer when we're struggling with the workout, if we can just make it to the end, we're going to succeed with our delivery.
Totally. Yes. One thing with working with women the past 7 years on birth, I can tell the women who wanted to have a natural birth, that every woman who came to me was seeking a natural birth. That's just the type of doula I was and the type of clients I invited in. And I knew the women that would succeed by the type of words that they were saying, by the type of mental beliefs that they were believing. If I had heard, I'm gonna try my best, or I'll just see what happens. And they didn't make it. And it's because they didn't practice that mental fortitude during
Mhm.
pregnancy. And exercise is such a wonderful place to practice that and strengthen your body. And we're called to steward our bodies well, right? And so this is a
That's
part
right.
of that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I love that. So, do you have, as I'm kind of thinking of exercise, I'm wondering if one of the reasons that I was so nervous or hesitant to work out was I felt like it had to be so formulated, and I was really worried and still struggle with this sometimes. So maybe there's somebody out there struggling with this as well. I still struggle sometimes thinking, oh my goodness, I'm afraid to hurt myself. Like, is there some things that postpartum women should avoid, and for how long should they avoid it for? And pregnancy too, as you're thinking of exercises that should probably be off the table during pregnancy and
Yeah.
postpartum. Could you
Yeah,
speak
well,
into
with
that?
pregnancy, you want to avoid exercises where you're lying flat on your back for long periods of time. Some moms don't want to do it at all, and that's completely fine. I'm okay lying on the back for a short period of time. I'm talking
Mhm.
like 1, 2 minutes, but not for a whole workout. And so that would be one thing. You're so used to doing all these, Pilates types exercises lying flat on your back. So you want to avoid that. Standing exercises are great. I love doing standing exercises when you're pregnant. Sitting exercises on a physio ball. So you want to avoid anything where you're lying down or anything so new that your body's not used to it, because that's going to cause an injury. So I never encourage someone who's pregnant to try something new for the first time. Stick with something that you're familiar with or that is guided by a trainer, something like that. So that's just sort of like a general frame of reference for someone who's pregnant. And when you're postpartum, the big thing is you want to keep an eye on your core to see if you have signs of diastasis recti, which is extremely common. That's where there's a gap in the middle of your stomach that runs vertically along the line of your belly button. And if you see any kind of gapping like that, then you want to avoid any exercises where your belly button is facing down. So you don't want to be on your hands and knees like a push-up position or a plank position, because that causes your organs to push down into the gap and sort of makes the gap worse. So you would want to do more exercises on your back, the opposite. So that's just a general guideline. But when it comes to postpartum, I always recommend getting approval from your doctor at the 6-week postpartum checkup. So some people work out before 6 weeks, and I just like that first 6 weeks to be a time that you're focusing on sleep and nursing, recovery. So there's no severe harm that you can do in the first 6 weeks. I just like to take that time as a recovery phase. So wait for 6 weeks for everything to fully recover and do a gradual, slow progression. I actually have a really good first postpartum workout that your audience can watch. It's at livecorestrong.com/class, and they can get a 45-minute video of me teaching you how to get started with your first postpartum workout. It's a core exercise plus beyond. So it's a really good slow progression into starting postpartum exercise. So I never recommend jumping right into what you were doing pre-pregnancy. Some people are like, oh, I have this workout routine that I did in college. I love it. I just want to go back to that. That's a big no. Don't go back to what you're doing before, even if you feel good. So you might feel good. You might feel like, okay, I have energy now. I'm not pregnant anymore. I'm lighter. And then they want to get right back into a full workout. And then, you're going to either get sore, you could re-injure yourself, you could bleed more. Like there definitely are things that you have to be cautious about, and you don't want to just jump right into a workout. You want to start very slow.
Well, that is a great resource. I will definitely be putting that in the description so my listeners can look into that. What are some other things, warning signs maybe, and I'm thinking pregnancy and postpartum, that when somebody is working out, that they should reach out for help, that they should, maybe talk to somebody like you and just to stay healthy. What are some things that they should be looking out for?
Yeah, the big indication is pain. And I love how God has given us pain to be like an alert and say, like, okay, something's wrong. Because if we did not have pain, we would ignore what's going on in our body, and then we could make the situation worse. So use pain as your guide, that something might be a little off, something might be wrong. And I'm not talking about severe pain. I'm talking about mild pain. Keep a journal. I like to encourage my clients to keep a journal of their body every morning when they wake up. Are you feeling something new? Is it, what kind of degree of pain? Is it mild, moderate, or severe? And monitor that pain for about a week or two and see if it's changing. Is the pain getting worse? Let's just say your back, for instance, because that's a common area that a lot of moms have back pain because of, again, the weight changes and that laxity in your spine and your pelvis. So if you're having back pain, keep an eye on that and see if the pain is getting worse week after week. And if it's going into like 2 weeks, that's when I say reach out to a physical therapist or your doctor. And you might not know this, but you can see a physical therapist without going to your doctor first. It's called direct access. So you can just go right to a physical therapist and ask them to evaluate you to see if it's, worth treating, or maybe it's something minor and you can just do a couple exercises. They can give you a program to take home. So that's what I would recommend, is just really monitor any kind of pain that's going on that is sort of not your normal. And maybe you have pain from the past and it's just getting worse now. Don't take that lightly. A lot of postpartum moms have pain just because of carrying their baby around. And again, everything still lacks because of the hormonal changes. So there's extra strain on the shoulders and different joints, the knees, the extra weight. So just keep a close eye on any kind of pain.
That's actually really helpful for somebody who is like pushed through it. You can do, so slow down. That is a very
Slow down
good,
and
yeah,
catch it before it gets worse. That's why I say like 2 weeks is a good, because if you let something
that's
go for
good.
a month, it can get worse and it can get harder to fix. So I like to give a 2-week range. If things aren't improving within 2 weeks, that's when I would go reach out to somebody.
That is super helpful. Okay, so I'm thinking of a woman, which I hear this happen a lot. And for first-time moms, they don't know what pain is normal, and what I think we have normalized pain also so much that people don't even look into possibilities. But symphysis pubis disorder, could you talk a little bit about that? Is that something where if a woman is working out and she starts having that pubic pain, should she stop altogether? Are there things that she can do to help that? Could you speak into that at all?
Yeah, yeah. I would reach out to a therapist, and there
Okay.
are women's health therapists that treat this specifically. So I'm just going to say it. Don't go to any physical therapist. You want to go to a women's
Mm,
health therapist that specializes in the pubic pelvic health region. They have extra tools and, different things that really are geared towards that region. And I also would say, like, just don't go Googling and looking on YouTube. You want to see someone in person to evaluate what area in your pelvic floor is, painful, because it's such a complex area. And they do, internal exams and things like that to see what's causing the pain. Is it related to your back? Is it related to the internal muscles? It's such a complex area that you don't want to just treat it yourself. And also, you mentioned this scenario is, pregnancy. You don't want this to go on later because the weight of your baby is going to cause more pain. You're just growing. There's more fluid. Things are going to get a little bit harder. So you might as well treat it sooner rather than later, because that pain can carry on over into postpartum as well. So I would just steer that person right to a therapist for an internal exam. And the beauty of physical therapy with having someone monitoring you is that they can completely change your routine based off of your progress. If you're making really good progress, then they might change the program, the exercise program, to go in one direction. But if you're getting worse, then they need to change that program and go in a different direction. And only a therapist can help you with that. You can't really assess yourself internally and change your program on your own. You have to have that other person, the medical professional, do that for you.
yeah, that's a really good point and something to keep in mind for sure because I think a lot of people, I've seen a lot of women just go to their chiropractor only. And while a chiropractor can assess that adjustment that is needed in the pelvis, there could be a deeper issue too in the ligaments and everything that needs to be addressed. So,
Yes.
if you're not finding relief from just going to your chiropractor, there are other options too. And I think just knowing your options is so empowering. So this is very, very helpful to hear. Is there anything else that is coming to mind that would be so helpful for that first time pregnant mom who wants to exercise, doesn't know where to start? Anything else that you could add, or any encouragement you could give?
Yeah, I'm a big advocate for having, a community
Mhm.
around you, a support system around you to help you continue on your fitness journey throughout pregnancy. I remember my one friend, so kind. She, we're friends. We're both physical therapists, but we never worked out together. And she invited me to just a really nice, gentle pregnancy yoga class. I'm like, I didn't even know you could do yoga during pregnancy, and I wasn't into yoga, but I was like, okay, this sounds like something I could benefit from, is doing a prenatal workout. And like, just having that support of working out with a friend helps you to continue on and stay accountable to one another. So I'm a big proponent for, having a community of fitness minded moms around you. And then that will continue on to postpartum, because it's hard to work out postpartum. I know it might seem hard to work out during pregnancy, but it's hard to work out postpartum because you're so focused on your baby. And I would say sleep is even harder. And so if you can develop the habit during pregnancy of consistently working out, you're more likely to consistently work out postpartum.
Yeah.
And that's a lifelong habit to have. And so if you can make it through pregnancy, I think you're going to make it through postpartum with your fitness habits, and then that's just going to carry on. So try not to stop. keep a calendar. I always say mark a calendar with a big red marker and have that calendar out visually so you can see all your X's all over your calendar and you can see how, all the things that you've accomplished with your workouts.
Yeah, that's so good. I know for me, I was always thinking, oh, I'm too busy to work out. There's no way I can find time. And it wasn't until I started intentionally putting it at the beginning of my week. These are the times I'm going to work out. And 80% of the time, maybe 90% of the time, I actually do work out that day. Now, I may put it in the morning and it doesn't happen until the afternoon, but it still happens because that intention is there and that habit has been built. So I want to challenge my listeners. If you feel like there's no time to do it, just start putting it in your calendar. Like you said, that's a powerful intention, and that's what needs to happen is we need to make a decision and have a community and have a coach around you maybe to hold you accountable. That's huge. So thank you so much for coming on, sharing your knowledge with us. Where can my listeners connect with you? What offers do you have? Share all the things.
Yeah, so the best place to find me is on my podcast, the Fit Postpartum Mom Podcast. And we're just really motivational to keep moms exercising consistently. So, and I'm giving all the tips there. And then you can also find me on my blog, livecorestrong.com. Tons of articles, pregnancy, postpartum fitness. And if you want a ab challenge, like I said, abs are the way to go. The core is the way to go. I have free 30-day ab challenges on my blog. You can see that there. And again, that class, that 45-minute, it's a abdominal first exercise. It's postpartum abs 101 class. That's just at livecorestrong.com/class. You can get that. And I'd love to have you in our Facebook community. So we are motivating moms every day in our Facebook community. It's a great place to surround yourself with fitness-minded moms. And yeah, we're having a great time over there. It's great.
That's awesome. I will definitely be checking out the challenge because I need to focus on my core a little bit more. So,
I still do the challenge. It is my favorite ab workout. It's so easy. It's less than 5 minutes a day, and like you'll get some good results with it. I'll tell you that.
awesome. Well,
Yep.
I'll put all of that in the description. Thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Hey, Mama. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts? It would bring me so much joy. Simply scroll down to the stars and click Write a Review. Your review will help more women discover our podcast. Let's grow this fit mom movement together. And if you want your friends to come alongside you on this postpartum fitness journey, invite them to our free Facebook group where you can get motivated together. Community is key to success, and that's what I want for you. So join ours by going to the link in the show notes, and before you know it, the baby weight will be falling off as quickly as those stinky diapers. I can't wait to see you on the next episode of the Fit Postpartum Mom Podcast. hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts? It would bring me so much joy. Simply scroll down to the stars and click Write a Review. Your review will help more women discover our podcast. Let's grow this fit mom movement together. And if you want your friends to come alongside you on this postpartum fitness journey, invite them to our free Facebook group where you can get motivated together. Community is key to success, and that's what I want for you. So join ours by going to the link in the show notes, and before you know it, the baby weight will be falling off as quickly as those stinky diapers. I can't wait to see you on the next episode of the Fit Postpartum Mom Podcast.